Bobby, when we talk about organized and disorganized, specifically when I think of disorganized, I think of his house because I spoke to one high-ranking police executive that was out there, and he said the house was so disgusting that the detectives could only stay in there for like 20, 25 minutes, and then they needed a break. It was filthy. It was like a hoarder's paradise. That is a sign of disorganization. And here's this man owns his own architecture company in the city, but yet his house looks like it's held up by a couple of 2x4s outside, or the roof would fall down.
Yeah, but that's what kind of thing the chief just alluded to, when they have two lives and they can be organized in one of those lives and disorganized in the other. He could be disorganized at the house he shares with his wife, put aside what kind of marriage it was. And then when he gets hyper focused on killing and he gets into his killing mode, the psychologists will tell you they can become so much more focused and so much more attentive to detail than they are in that other life, right? So when he gets that drive to kill, and that is a little different for each one of these killers, but they all, the ones that we've talked to, all describe this overwhelming drive, then that thirst. Okay, tonight is the night I'm going to go kill, because he didn't kill every call girl that he paid to be with him. Obviously there's thousands probably over the years. So something triggers them to be in that kill mode, and so that's when they become hyper focused. That's when he can be attentive to detail. That's when he can be organized, because he has this panic of, I don't want to get caught. So, he can be disorganized in one life, and that other life he can be organized. So don't think of those as the same, because they're two separate lives he's living.
I think like and I think you have a lot more experience with serial killers than I do. The only serial killer I remember in my entire police career was a guy named Aaron Key, who became known as the shopping cart killer. And he was killing, and he was a sex offender also in East Harlem. I think he did 4 or 5 murders. And that was the first case in New York State history that they linked cases by DNA together. It was 1997. That's relatively late, but that was the first case in New York State history. But I had never seen, most of our murders, and the chief will tell you this, was perp A shoots perp B. And then, witnesses, most of them are bad guy on bad guy murders. Chief, you want to comment on that, or you want to?
Well, there is.
Not true.
It actually is. I think we did my last numeric on that analytics was close to 80% of the victims of murder also had a criminal record and were also in some kind of criminal conduct. But there are others, the 20% who's not. And so those are the tough cases. And a lot of that is rage. Some of it is domestic. But these particular ones, and I've had, we've stopped them before they got that third body a lot of times. There was one in East New York, and Daniel St. Hubert, he stabbed a little boy to death on an elevator the night before, 2 nights before, I believe. We can't charge him on it because we don't have the evidence. He stabbed another woman to death. Just got out of jail from stabbing his mother. Why is this guy out? And then the little girl who was with the little boy survived to identify him. And we got him on a DNA. He wasn't like, we got him on DNA evidence. He dropped one of the knives that he brought, and that's how we picked him up. And he was a big guy. It was East New York, and I worked many years in East New York. And we got him because he didn't know about phones. That's how we tracked him down. He was on parole. So we stopped him before he got that third body. And so with the new forensics, the new technology, we can do that. This guy, he blew everybody off the charts. He was just a maniac. He stabbed 2 guys in jail. He was just a killer.
Yeah. We
finally took him down in South Ozone and locked him up. And then he went to try. A little girl pointed him out and screamed at him on the stand. She was great. And he's convicted. So you stop a lot now because law enforcement's got so much better. You see what we have now. You commit a crime in Manhattan, you're out of your mind, because we're going to get it on video at some point of it. Just about every time. These detectives know what to do. So that's the good news when you have someone like this. But the psychosexual ones, they're the ones that keep me up at night thinking about this. Someone like this guy, with the crazy searches and all these things. What's driving him? How many more are out there? And how many more people have this guy killed? If Heuermann's our guy and he's not convicted yet, but how many more victims are out there laying in the woods someplace?
Absolutely. Let me just take a folks. This is Police Off the Cuff, real crime stories. If you like real crime, true crime from a police perspective, then you're in the right place. And if you're not subscribed to us, go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, hit the like button, share us with your friends, your family, even family members you don't like. Share us with them. And if you want to contribute to us, we have a Patreon with 4 different levels.